Siwa is a unique oasis in Egypt that has got its own culture and heritage. It's distinguished from the rest of the oases in Egypt because of its inhabitants. The Siwians came originally from the branch of one of the tribes of Zanata, who mixed with some of the Arabian tribes that came from Libya and north of Africa. They have their own dialect of Amazighian language and their own customs and traditions and ways of life. All this had to be recorded and kept somewhere, and here comes the role of a museum. The Museum of Siwa is so close in its contents to the heart that it's like a Siwian house. It's very intimate and wonderful. It shows you the dresses of the Siwian women, which are complicated and deserve viewing and even studying. The jewelry section is magnificent with its silver exhibits and traditional accessories. Even the eating habits and furniture are there too. When you visit Siwa Oasis, it's nice to go around the monumental places, but it's nicer to get to know the life of the people and how they lived not long time ago in their preservative nature and away from the rest of Egypt. The museum is located in the heart of the city and deserves a quality visiting time to complete the visitor's grasp of life in Siwa. The Siwian Museum's name is the Siwian House, which is a very expressive name that describes the actual building of the museum, for it was built as a primary prototype of the constructional engineering of the ancient Siwian houses. The houses were built of a special Siwian style called the Karshif style. Karshif is a mud extracted from the land that is saturated with salt. It's taken and placed in molds, and when it dries, it becomes as hard as cement. The old houses of Siwa rose up to 7 or 8 levels by using it as a sole building material, but its only disadvantage is being extremely affected if the heavy rainy period extended for a few days, for the salt in Karshif melts and some walls collapse, like the 3 rainy days of year 1926 that happened to Shali's and old Aghormi's houses and led to the people abandoning their houses and moving to a new area. Marriage in Siwa is considered the most important festival for the Syrians, for it's the occasion that's highly respected by the traditions and has a lot of rituals performed throughout the entire period of the wedding, which could reach 7 days. There are 7 dresses worn by the bride on her wedding day, one on top of the other. The first one is tied to the body and is white and transparent. The second is transparent as well, but red in color. As for the third, it's black, and the fourth is yellow, and the fifth is blue. The sixth dress is made of pink silk, and the seventh is of green silk. Above all these dresses, the bride wears the wedding dress and puts around her head a red shawl made of silk and wears a lot of silver accessories. The Syrian bride wears several dresses for her wedding, and they are all exhibited in the Syrian Museum. The black one, which is embroidered by colored threads, is worn on the wedding night. The second one is a white one, and is worn on the 3rd day, and on the rest of the 7 days. The third dress is worn on the 7th day, and it's black in color. The white and the last black dresses are still worn till today, following the tradition. But the black wedding day dress is replaced in the modern times by the modern white dress, which the brides wear all over the world. Nowadays, few Syrian women are skilled enough to prepare an entire bride's trousseau as it was in the past. Even the professional needlewomen are mainly specialized in one item only, because each one requires a good knowledge of specific stitches, symbols, and rules. This process of specialization of relatively few women in making high quality has modified the ancient system of preparation of the bride's trousseau, which was based on family ties and friendships. Nowadays, a girl is supposed to have the following embroidered items: the white embroidered wedding dress called Ashira Nahuk, and one pair of white trousers called Isra'ulin el Khawatem. The white dress is richly embroidered in the frontal panel with a radiant motif which starts from the edge of the breast and opens up until the ankles. Over the main lines of this central motif, about 100 mother-of-pearl buttons of higher quality are stitched, and sometimes other colored applications are added to give a more luminous overall impact. Furthermore, the whole pattern, which radiates from the central panel with sequences of small symbols and lines which look like sunlights, suggests that this dress may come directly from the time of the Ammonians or the priests of the god of the sun. The troquette is a white shawl made by black light fabric which is embroidered with parallel lines and sequences of small motifs. There are many varieties of troquette according to the number of stripes embroidered on the surface. The decorative pattern of the troquette consists of equally spaced symbols which are geometrical in shape. This shawl is worn by the bride on the night of Shamata, on the third day of wedding with a white embroidered dress and during the first festivities of the wedding week. At home, the Syrian women wear colored dresses with wide long sleeves, but when they go outside their homes, they wear black dresses over the colored ones and white pants of cotton tied with collars above the feet by the ankles. Then each woman covers her whole body with a big piece of cloth, starting by her head. This piece is called milaya and is usually dark gray or blue in color with black or gray stripes. The Syrian woman never wears a burqa to cover her face. She just pulls the edge of el milaya to cover her face, leaving a tiny opening for her eyes. She seldom leaves the house just to pay her condolences or to visit the sick or run errands and participate in social activities like weddings and baby showers. As for going to the market or any other work, that's men and children responsibility. Syrian families own chariots called karotza, which is a two-wheel wagon pulled by a donkey. It's fast and convenient to use in the tiny old roads of the oasis. It's usually driven by a man or the eldest son, and is also used to transport goods or crops. All these traditions add to the unique style of life and the general image of Siwa Oasis. The traditional dresses of the Syrian girls and the way they adorn themselves with silver jewelry are the first attractive thing to the visitor of the oasis, for he sees them wearing bright colored dresses with wide long sleeves and around their necks collars made of beads, while dividing their hair into many braids that reach 30 to 40 in number. The Syrian jewelry is composed of broad silver bracelets and rings and collars, especially the necklace called salihat, and is composed of 6 pieces with a crescent shape. In between each pair of them, they put beads of silver and corals. Women also wear earrings, and they are either light and dangles from the ear hole or heavy and goes down on both sides of the head on the same level of the ears. There are so many types of these jewels, and in rich families, they weigh not less than 10 pounds. The main 2 pieces of jewelry are the silver collar called in Syrian language aghru, which each semi-rich Syrian woman is keen on having it. The rounded decorated disc that hangs from it is called adram. The second silver jewelry is el ta'laqin, and is the one that dangles beside the head. Each side of it is composed of several silver chains fixated in a crescent-shaped jewelry. Each chain ends with a rattle ball, and the number of chains on each side varies between 5 and 9. In 1938, there were 2 silversmith men working in the oasis, making all the silver pieces ordered by the Syrian women, in addition to the silver brought by Bedouins for trade from Alexandria or Libya, especially from Beni Ghazi. By 1957, the silversmiths ceased to exist, and all the silver bought by the women was made in Alexandria by jewelsmiths who specialized in making the traditional jewelry of Siwa. The Syrian girls who couldn't afford to purchase silver turned their backs to the traditional heavyweight silver and preferred the golden jewelry of collars and rings and earrings, and they wear it in most cases with what they have of other silver jewelry. To design silver amulets and to embellish wide hat shawls and straight-sided tunics, silversmiths and needlewomen followed geometrical motifs like triangles, crosses, diamonds, and zigzags, as well as motifs drawn from nature like fish and palm trees. These decorative patterns refer to ancient community beliefs which were prior to the advent of Islam. Most of their original meanings have been nowadays forgotten, but they are still expressions of a common symbolic language. Siwin silver belongs to this special local heritage which generated specific decorative items. The Bedouin tools and houseware are mostly made of pottery. Even the living room in which men and their guests sit for having chats around the coffee table while making it has pottery and palm reeds objects used in it. Water jars are made of pottery and pottery drainers are there too, in addition to the incense burners. Axes and baskets and grain mixers and various objects made of reeds are handmade and are all exhibited in the Syrian Museum, which reflects all aspects of life in the oasis and sums up the special heritage of Siwa in the eyes of the visitor after touring around its monuments and walking down its lanes and smelling the breeze of its gardens and having bath at its water wells and riding safari cars in its desert, and most of all, watch its magnificent and beautiful sunset while the sun disappears slowly and gracefully beyond the horizon of Siwa.